Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 138 of Wrestling is Trash. We, the Trashboyz, are here for you on another Trash Tuesday to bring you all of the opinions and bookings and thoughts on wrestling in general and the wrestling world and news and pay-per-views and PLEs and HLA and all of the things. Trashboyz are here with you once again. We missed you guys. I'm sure you guys missed us. And we are back first and foremost before I introduce the second Trash Boy. Actually, Trash Boy numero uno, to be honest with you. I would like to apologize to everyone out there who was missing an episode last week of Wrestling is Trash. I, unfortunately, was very unprepared for the show. I didn't have anything for you guys that I could kind of produce and kind of bring forth. So we missed the show last week, and that was you can blame this guy right here. But with that being said, we're back with you today for an action-packed, extra fat episode of Wrestling is Trash. Of course, once again, Trashboyz are here. Trash Boy numero dos right here, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash, and to my left, on my screen at least.
What up, everyone? Nick Anisella. You can also put partial blame on me. As we told you guys before, we're working with a whole time difference thing, and it's a whole thing, but I think a little unprepared on both our ends, which is going to happen. We're humans. We all make mistakes, right? But like as Lou said, hopefully you did miss us, but it's good because we might have missed last week, but this week we probably going to be here for a minute because there's a lot going on. As we all know, it is Wrestlemania week, but when it's Wrestlemania week, it's not just WWE. Every other major companies in the area, even small town indies, make their way to wherever that location is. So we have a lot on the docket to talk about today, and I'm super excited.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is obviously as we're working towards WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania entails more than just the WWE because it seems everyone has wrestling content to the weekend towards this weekend. So not only do we have a 2-night Super Bowl of wrestling happening with the WrestleMania show, we also have an NXT show that we're going to kind of lightly touch on this week. We have a Ring of Honor show that I have a lot of vested interest in, and there's all kind of things happening. There's Wrestle Talk happening, and what's that? The Good Brothers do their Wrestle. What do they call that shit? Wrestle.
The Talking Shop.
Talking Shop Mania or some shit like that they do WrestleMania
like
weekend.
That.
I don't really know much about that, but I know all that's going on. There's a whole bunch of shit happening. Masha Slamovich is the fucking GCW world champion. It's madness everywhere. It's raining cats and dogs. Everything's happening. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this show. And one of the first things I wanted to kind of bring forward to the show was something we've been talking about on this show for a while. And we haven't talked about it in a minute, but we have talked about this in the past. And Triple H has approved a new design for the new WWE World Championship belt. And I'm very curious to see what this thing is going to look like. Now, the other day I sent Nick a photograph that I saw, and it was of a championship belt that was a custom Cody Rhodes championship. And if you guys hadn't seen it, I should have uploaded the picture so I could like pop it up on screen real quick. But I don't know if you guys have seen it. I know Nick saw it because I sent it to him. Nick, what do you think about well, first of all, the fact that this news came out that Triple H has approved a new design? Do you feel like that's a little bit of a spoiler for the main event of WrestleMania, number one? And number two, what did you think of that custom belt that we saw that was released?
So the custom belt, I thought was really cool. Big fan of the Wing Eagle. You have it Trashboyz have the Wing Eagle, but you know, I thought it looked cool. I'm all about custom belts and stuff like that. Like I was even one. I don't know about you. Were you a fan of Daniel Bryan when he had like the Eco Planet belt?
Man, that Eagle belt that shit was so fucking corny, bro. I like that
Yeah.
part of the storyline of it, like I
Mhm.
get it. I get what he was going for there,
Yeah.
but that belt was corny as shit.
Yeah. So like I kind of like when they bring it in and things like that. So if it's anything's brought in good, I usually like it. But to answer the second part with a spoiler, and I guess this is gonna go into the I'm gonna try to Roman Reigns is kind of like Brock Lesnar now in a way. You never know what's truly going to happen, and that's all I'll say because we're going to dive into our predictions. But
Right.
I'm definitely excited for it. But as I said to you, and I say it in our sarcastic but also serious way, it's probably just going to be an even bigger W. And
Yeah.
this is also one I'd like to say to the audience and to the whole wrestling community is I think this is the thing I'm not getting my hopes up for though. The reason being is because I think everyone thinks like the big gold belt might come back or something like that. And as much as we know Triple H appreciates all the history of wrestling, I just think it's going to be something completely different. Because what's the last belt they introduced? Was it the Intercontinental or the United States with the redesign?
The last new belt I think might have been that IC, like that big weird looking IC title, because they haven't, or was it maybe Kofi's championship? Because Kofi's belt is kind of like.
I know the U.S. title came back. They did the new one during the pandemic. I remember that.
Right.
And I think that's when they did the IC around the same time. But also a new person was a different person had that say then. So I don't know where it goes.
Was. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it might have been the IC title.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's either that or, I mean, obviously it's either that or Kofi's, because I think Kofi's belt. Yeah, it must have. I think it was Kofi's belt. I think it was Kofi's heavyweight championship, because I think they had that IC title already for a while. I think they already had that belt when that was introduced.
If the trash crew could assist us in this in the comments.
Yeah, if somebody wants to drop that in the comments. So this here.
There's too much wrestling to remember it.
This here, of course, we still haven't figured out how to not block our faces, but for anyone watching on YouTube, this is the custom Cody belt that we were privy to here. Now, here's the thing with this. I like it, but I don't like the white, because the white reminds me of Intercontinental, number one.
Yeah, and it's pretty dominant with the women now, too.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not a big fan of the white, okay? Mm-hmm. And the second thing about this is that it's too much Cody. Like, it's not enough WWE championship. It's like too much Cody. Like, it's got his name, American fucking, what does that say? American Nightmare, and it has his logo. And then on the top, it says some shit about Nightmare.
I think it says American Nightmare again.
Yeah, it's like, that's too much fucking Cody, bro. So, like, I don't think, some people were saying that's the new design for the title, which,
oh, no way.
If it is, no. I think it's too much, bro. That's way too much. So
yeah, I could see them doing maybe at the end of the year, or depending on how the reign goes, if he wins, like, how they do the custom belts for people.
Yeah.
Like maybe something like that, but I don't know. But if there is a new belt, I'm excited. I'm always excited to see what a new belt looks like.
Yeah, the only thing that I want for the belt is for it to be huge. Like I'm a fan of big wrestling belts. Like, just you fucking put that shit over your, like Kenny Omega's IWGP, like this thing pales in comparison to the size of the real belt. Because when he comes out with that shit on, it like covers up his whole fucking, like, from the top of his chest like all the way down. It's huge. And I'm a fan of that, because that shit, it looks like, damn, what is that? Like, that shit is just a gigantic piece of hardware. So I'm a big fan of that shit. But
I agree.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously we're going to go into our thoughts on what's going to happen in the main event, but I just kind of felt like it was weird timing that news came out that Triple A, hey, he approved a new belt. And I'm like, okay, really, dude, a week before WrestleMania, like you're talking about he's approved a new belt. What does that mean? So,
and it's times like this where I hate the wrestle news people.
Yeah, it's
you know what I
sometimes this
mean?
shit sucks, man. It really does. And we'll get more into that in a little bit because wrestling news, they really sometimes they really suck. So last week on Wednesday, we had a match that was thrust upon us by Mr. Tony Khan, and they gave it to us for free ass TV on Wednesday's Dynamite, and that was, speaking of, our IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega versus El Hijo de Vikingo. I love saying his name, bro. I love saying
it. Comes off so smooth.
It just rolls off the tongue, bro. El Hijo de Vikingo. It's beautiful. So I saw. Okay, what did you think of the match, first of all, before I even get into my thoughts about it?
Amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some crazy spots like the fucking was 630 or whatever through the table from the outside. Obviously, everyone keeps resharing that. It was great. It was great. Like I'm very open. El Hilo, like I didn't have a crazy amount of knowledge on. I've seen some of his stuff and all that, but to see him in a match like this, especially with Kenny Omega, you know what I mean, one of the actively best ones out there, if not, you know what I mean, easily top 5, and he's probably not 5 or 4. It was great, and like you said, it was free. You know, I don't know. I just thoroughly enjoyed it from like start to finish, and as we say sometimes as wrestling fans is, well, I don't want to get my hopes up too much, you know, and then once I heard about it, I did more research, you hear all that, and then you get hyped for it and it delivered. So there's nothing better as a wrestling fan when something's hyped up and it delivers, and that's exactly what that was. It was so good.
Yeah. So for me, one of the things that was kind of controversial about this was there was a bunch of people out there saying when they saw the graphic, they're like, who? Huh? What's the story? They're just bringing in this guy. Who's this guy? And why is Kenny Omega wrestling this guy? And and it's like, you know, people are doing that from this. Oh, you see that how Liv Morgan just popped up there holding her Knicks jersey? People are talking all that shit from this thing, which this, if you people watching home know what this is a smart device. Okay. It used to be called a phone, but this thing, with this, you can like open it like this. You know what I'm saying? You open up this thing,
and
then you can like, you press this thing here. It's like Chrome, right? Hopefully it doesn't open my porn. And you open that, and then it opens up the whole world for you, and you can type in, hey, who is El Hijo de Vikingo? And you can find out a slew of information about this person. And you know what? It's not that fucking hard because you're already on your phone bitching on Twitter about who is this person. And with the energy that you're spending typing who is this person, you could just type it into fucking Google or YouTube and you'll find out. And then you'll find out, hey, you know what? This guy's a hell of a fucking wrestler and he's about to wrestle Kenny Omega. So I want to watch that. Like, I don't understand these people who just constantly feel like they need to bitch about everything. Now, the tribalists who hate AEW, them, I understand why they're doing it. I mean, I don't agree with them, but I get why they're doing it. They're trolls. They just want to fucking troll everything. These are people who hate Tony Khan, but they're always the first ones to comment on Tony Khan every time he says something, which is like super fucking weird because it's like, if you hate this guy so much, like, why are you following him, bro? Why
it's like you're obsessed.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you following Tony Khan and then you hate him? It just makes no sense. So that was the first thing for me, was like, you're depriving yourself of enjoying like a kick-ass match that, bro, Tony literally threw it together because Vikingo was like, he was there, he was available, because that dude's like being booked everywhere. Like, everybody wants this guy, and the timing was perfect. Okay, they couldn't have their match before. Kenny's healthy. this guy's gonna be here Wednesday. Let's do the match here. And they did it. They even gave you a video package for it. If you're too stupid to actually research yourself, they made a video package for you, so you understand. And people were still bitching. And it's like, do you guys like wrestling or don't you? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
We live in a world where people just like the bitch.
Yeah, man. And it's unfortunate because the match, like, completely over delivered. Because, like, I was expecting, oh, this is gonna be great. But man, it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. It was like the perfect amount of time. And they got a lot of shit in this match.
Yeah.
And man, if you didn't know who he was before, and I know this is cliche because everybody's saying this, but if you don't know who
now
was
you know.
before, you fucking know now, bro.
Yeah.
That dude, that spot with the 630. I think my favorite part about that was Taz. Taz was like, "Oh, Vikingo, whatever you're gonna do, man, please be careful." And when he jumps off the rope and he does the spin and he comes through the table, obviously you hear Excalibur going, "The 630,"
Yeah.
and you hear Taz going, "Oh my god!" Like, if you watch the video back, you just hear Taz going, "Oh my god!" And it was scary because this dude actually he hit the back of his head.
Yeah, he almost hit the back of his head on the corner of the ring. Like, that's like the hardest part too.
Yeah, luckily he hit Kenny and then he just went straight down, so there was like little impact on. So luckily,
yeah.
But man, the guy, you see people do things in wrestling that, you're like, wow, obviously I can't do that, and that looks amazing. But this guy almost like he's almost like Dragon Lee or freaking Ray Phoenix, where it's like, I don't think this guy's body is like, I don't think he's from this planet. Like, I don't think his gravity works the same way with this dude, like the way it works with the rest of us. Like Ricochet.
It's insane how they just move.
People like Ricochet, Ray Phoenix, Vikingo, even Blake Christensen. That guy is fucking tremendous. And it's like their bodies just defy gravity. And it's amazing to see it because you would think that at some point Vikingo's gonna miss one of these moves. Like, how the fuck did he do a 630 from the second rope with his feet on the inside? Like, I don't get it. His feet were on the inside of the ring, hits the second rope and does the bro. Tremendous match. Tremendous.
Science doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it to YouTube. It's there. I don't know how long it's gonna be there, but just watch it because
we're not done seeing him yet.
No, we are not, because like I said, this man is being booked everywhere, and we're going to be touching on something a little bit later where he's also we're going to be seeing a little more of him this week. So yeah, shout outs to Omega and Vikingo. Thank you so much, Tony, for that match. So listen, obviously the big news of the week, which is still ongoing. There's Twitter right now is on fire because everybody's listening to the podcast and all this other bullshit. But CM Punk, he kind of, and I'm gonna keep it a bug with you, bro. This was a little bit of a bitch move, but Punk came. So CM Punk rarely posts on social media. If he does, it's like he's shouting someone out that he has a professional relationship with, like, shout out to this guy who does my merch, or he'll shout out he shouts out Lars a lot. Lars Fredrickson from Rancid. They do a lot of stuff together, and so he'll post stuff like that. He doesn't really post a lot of personal stuff, and then for the most part he'll post like vague wrestling shit like on his Instagram stories when shit's going on. But what he does do is do a lot of comments. He likes to comment on a lot of people's shit, but once in a while, he will post something and then delete it. The purpose of him doing this, I have no idea. But CM Punk decided to post a Instagram story, which is a response to a Dave Meltzer article that came out. Dave Meltzer had posted something, and I'm sorry for anyone who's looking for the exact perfect information. You're not going to get that here because I'm literally just, it's so much in different sources and different things that I can't. But Punk was responding to Dave Meltzer articles where Dave Meltzer was talking about Brawl Out incident and details about what happened and Punk's injury and in these things. And Punk felt the need to respond to that article. So he went on his Instagram story and wrote this long ass why he couldn't press the little 3 buttons there that changes the font of your text, because I know I do it all the time. Why he couldn't press those 3 buttons to make this like more fit on the screen, I don't know. But this is what he posted on Instagram. He wrote all capital sigh, like this, like sigh. I wasn't clear to come back to wrestle yet. The plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I had explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie.
Pause.
Which that in itself is super fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's suspect as fuck. Like, how have you never seen a Rocky movie? Any of them? I don't understand. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie and I thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay. But I'd need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared, and I scoffed at that idea. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Chris Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, and I'll never put my health above the company again. Well, I'll never put my health above a company. He didn't say specifically this company. So we're going to kind of touch on these as we go. First of all, you never seen Rocky 4, bro? Who hasn't seen Rocky 4?
Or just any of them?
Who hasn't seen Rocky 4, bro? I've seen Rocky 4 about 1,000 times. Is it a great movie? Not really, but come on, man.
Yeah, this is just becoming a story we'll never know the truth behind.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
It's like, this is I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say this is like the Biggie Tupac murder. We'll never know. Just like we'll never know this. But yeah, we will never know the truth behind all of this. And then Jericho goes on and then says like, no, Punk's an idiot, and Punk's like, no, he's the idiot. And then we're going to obviously dive into Moxley a little today. This is just never going to end. And as we said, we're proponents of wanting Punk back. And I think if he was planning to come back soon, I don't see it happening soon now. Not saying it's going to be like 6 months or so. I just don't think it's going to be like, if I had to guess right now, I think the soonest we could see him back is maybe at Double or Nothing, like coming back there.
Yeah, like when I said I'm gonna keep it a buck at the beginning of this, I think with this it's over. It's done. There's no CM Punk return anymore. And obviously you guys know, as I've been on this show, I've clamored for him to return. I want to see CM Punk come back. I would like for his career not to end on this sour note, and I would like to see him come back and wrestle Kenny and wrestle Swerve and wrestle, just all these people, all this talent that's there. I'd like to see him in there with Vikingo.
Just two sour notes
up with MJF,
Yeah.
But it's just this is too much. And what strikes me here is the fact that he says, which is a real problem if it's true, because again, this is all alleged he said, she said bullshit. Tony telling him that, yeah, I know you're injured, but we'll just do a squash. Like, he's basically, okay, again, this is what CM Punk said. If it's true, he's basically saying that Tony's telling him to wrestle injured. Knowing he's injured, he's telling him to go out there on live TV where you never know what can happen and wrestle anyway, which that's a problem for me. Like, if that's true, Tony needs to come out and be like, yo, first of all, that's bullshit. I would never, and he hasn't done it yet, because this is fucking old news by now. This is already like quote unquote old news. This is like 4 or 5 days old, and Tony's out there promoting Dynamite and doing his thing. And I think that's a mistake. I think he should have been like, yo, or if he did, he needs to own up to that, however it is, whether he denies it or whether he goes, yeah, you know what, I fucked up, and I thought that, you know, his foot, he was walking around, I figured we could just kind of roll him up real quick and blah blah blah, and so he wouldn't, you know, injure himself anymore, you know, because that's a big deal, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and that's something that's kind of getting stepped over, is that he fucking asked him to wrestle injured. Like, that's not, you know, it's not something you're supposed to fucking do. So
No.
Again, I just feel like it's over for Punk, bro. I don't think it's gonna happen, especially after reading Wade Keller's VIP section of the PW Torch, which obviously Wade Keller is one of the insiders who gets, for the most part, he gets a lot of inside info. And what he said on his VIP board was the top 1/3 to 1/2 of the AEW locker room do not want CM Punk back. And what he says is Jon Moxley and CM Punk do not like each other. There's a tension between those where certainly they are not in a position now where anyone would predict that they're not in a position now. Wow, what a fucking jumble of words here. This is written fucked up. This always fucking happens to me, man. So I'm going to try to reread this. Jon Moxley and CM Punk do not like each other. There's a tension between those where ... certainly they are not in a position now where anyone would predict that they're not in a position now where would predict they would ever work together. That's what that says. So if you're listening to this, this is not me. I was just trying to read the statement. From what I can gather, the belief is, the sentiment is that Punk isn't welcome back. The wrestlers don't want him back. My sources are saying maybe 1 or 2 or the top 3 don't want him back. It's mostly Punk doesn't get along with Moxley. Punk doesn't get along with Hangman. Punk doesn't get along with the Bucks. Punk doesn't get along with Kenny. Punk doesn't get along with MJF. And he goes on to say the AEW locker room goes from peaceful coexistence to really liking each other and then getting along. And he says Punk is the exception to that. So basically, in that fucking jumble word vomit salad there, is that Punk is very toxic and nobody likes him. Mm-hmm. And this is going beyond, you know, which I've said on this podcast many times. There's money here. You know, if you guys can sit down and work this out, there's fucking money to be made here. I was with that. I had that belief system that, dude, they can work this out. They can hash it out somehow. They don't have to love each other. You know, I've worked with people I don't like before, but we've worked together. They can figure this out. They can make a lot of money. But dude, like right now, bro, I don't think this is fixable. Like, I really don't. And I think it's just best that when CM Punk gets healthy, Tony just, okay, dude, adios. Here's your whatever I owe to you, and holla at your boy. And maybe in a year or something, I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't see it.
So he got injured the beginning of September. So you go all of September, October, November, December, January, February. So he's been off the shelf now 7, almost 8 months.
Yeah.
So he's got to be coming, like, at least not coming back, but at least cleared.
Yeah.
Soon. But you got to think, if Tony, which I don't think he'll go to WWE. I really don't think so. I know we've talked about it before. I just don't think it'll happen. But you got to think, if he's let go, that's going to take a while, because they're both going to want to come to some degree of a term. And I imagine he's going to have a hell of a no contract clause. Like, look what he did for William Regal. Like, he was nice, which I thought was dope what Tony did, letting Regal go so he could be with his son and all that. But even then, doesn't he, like, have a whole like, your character can't be on TV clause or some bullshit? I forget what it was. We read it before. But so you got to think, if he did that for Regal, you know what I mean? What's he going to do for Punk or someone like a Punk? Which I don't blame.
But the thing is, too, if his contract expires, though, he really can't, like, he can't stop Punk from fucking doing anything. Like,
yeah, because Punk probably
if his contract's
signed
up, it's up.
Yeah, because Punk probably signed what, a 3-year deal? That seems like a
Probably,
common wrestling deal. So if he started, say, August of 21 when he debuted, I don't know when he actually signed, but say then, so August of 24. So he still has a minute, and then you can add that injury time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah, it's messy is certainly a word you can use to describe this, but
Yeah.
it's definitely there's a lot. It's a lot more than just, hey, let's sit these guys in a room and hash this out. You know, it's way more than that now, bro. This guy, you know, with his freaking diatribe, calling Jericho a stooge and a liar, and like Jericho, I've, you know, again, I don't know any of these people. We're not back there. We don't know, but
Yeah.
Jericho to me kind of seemed like a stand-up dude. Like, I may not agree with all of the things Chris Jericho says or does, but you know, he seems like a stand-up guy. He was there at Brawl Out. He was, you know, trying to look out for Tony. He seems like he wants to elevate
Like
young workers, and you know,
he seems to have like a good heart.
yeah, like he, you know, he seems like he's cares about the business and he's loyal to AEW, and you know, he wants to do the thing. But again, this guy, as much as I found the Scrum from Hell to be hilarious, looking back at it, because I watched it recently, and it's like, actually, I watched it after MJF's tirade at the
The press conference.
the last press conference pay-per-view. I went back and I watched some of Brawl Out. And just rewatching that, the way he was just so bitter and nasty about everything, especially in regards to Cole Cabana, which he's justified in that. That's not my business, and whatever. But that was not the place to do that, bro. Like, and again, we're retreading old points that we've already made.
We somehow talk about CM Punk in every episode.
Yeah, it's because it's insane. It's one of the biggest things that, like, really, it's just it's.
But I
huge.
hate that we have. It keeps getting retreaded though, because the company is doing good.
That was such a great pay-per-view too, and it's like, we don't talk about that shit anymore. We talk about fucking the Scrum from Hell, but it was such bad form, man. And you know, even that, when that happened, I was like, okay, give him time and let him go away and let him rehab and let the Bucks come back and have matches and get back in the swing of things, and then let them figure it out. But I don't know, bro. Now it's just become, I think it's unfixable now. And with that, we have Jon Moxley, who did the Sessions podcast with Renee Paquette, his wife. They did the podcast, I guess yesterday or the day before. They released it this morning. And what perfect time to have Jon Moxley on the podcast when all this information just comes out, and he's pretty much directly involved in this situation. So right off the bat, and this is why I respect Renee, because obviously she could have just danced around the question and whatever, but she was like, hey, right off the bat, starting the podcast, okay, Jon, you know, with this CM Punk, do you want to respond to anything out there? Do you want to she just basically handed him the mic, like, do whatever you want. And he, I wanted more. Like, I was expecting him to kind of go off, because, you know, Moxley's like kind of like a rough and tumble dude, and he just kind of says whatever he wants.
Yeah,
but
exactly. In general.
Yeah, for real. And I have a small snippet, which I think is pretty much the important part of what he says, and you basically get the gist of what he was feeling. And believe me, this is written much better than the last thing I just read. So on the podcast, he says, I've never said anything remotely negative about AEW, but I will say this. As an observer, it seems like I spent 8 years on the indies. I did a couple years in developmental in WWE, and then I did 8 years on the main roster in WWE. And I have never seen so much bullshit drama in one place in my entire fucking life than I've seen in AEW. I hate to say that, but it's like, I don't know if it's because of the age of social media and shit just gets blown out of proportion. Like, one person types some stupid drunk tweet, and that's all anybody wants to talk about. But like, we're sitting up here doing a podcast, and you know what we're not talking about? that stellar fucking match between Vikingo and Kenny Omega. We're not talking about all this cool stuff going on in AEW. We're not talking about this great pay-per-view we just had. We're talking about a bunch of bullshit. So a lot of people who, this is where I say these wrestling reporters, and Nick, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This is where I say these wrestling reporters suck, because they take snippets and they take a little sentence out of a full paragraph with no context to what was said before or after, and then they post that clip and they say Jon Moxley says he's never seen so much drama than he's seen in AEW, and that's what they post. And a lot of people on Twitter, they don't even click the link anymore. They read that and then they retweet it, they quote tweet it, they do whatever it is that they want to do, because that fits their narrative of AEW sucks or WWE. It could be anything. It could be whatever. They don't even bother to listen to the interview themselves. I listened to it this morning in its entirety. Yes, he said that, but the context of what he's saying is lost if you don't listen to the actual podcast. He's talking about like the drama of all the stuff going on, as far as people deciding to, instead of fixing it in-house, they're going online and complaining and this and that. So, you know, Nick, all this information you now have in front of you, I know I kind of said my piece and we kind of already feel like there's no way back for CM Punk, but do you feel like Moxley was shitting on AEW when he was talking about this? Do you think Punk's coming back? Are you ever going to see him in AEW again? What's your process here?
It's a half-ass answer, but I'm going to say 50-50 on Punk, honestly. Just because of the world we live in, you never know. I could see him not. I could see him coming. When it comes to Moxley, I don't think he was shitting on AEW, like the company. I think if anything, that would have been more of a dig at the talent of like, hey, if you got shit to say, be professional and find maybe the right time to say it. Because I agree with you with the wrestling sites saying all this, because now they're resharing everything, saying, well, make sure you read everything. And it's like, yo, you're the dude or the chick who just said this, right?
Yeah.
And to me, this is just how I am. I won't give my thoughts on something until I watch it. Now, what I mean watch is watch or listen entirety, right? Like, so I won't say Dynamite, right? Just as an example, because we're talking AEW. Say there's an episode of Dynamite, right? And they did something dumb, right? There was a dumb segment or whatever. I'm not going to sit there if I didn't watch the whole episode and be, well, AEW sucked this week. Because I didn't watch the whole thing. You know what I mean? I didn't just watch clips. I watched the show. You know what I mean? And that's how I've always like taken things personally. But no, I don't think so. Because you got to think, this dude just signed a huge contract with them too. You know what I mean? So he obviously loves that company. He has a great relationship with Tony. Now his wife's there. He has more responsibilities in this contract. So no, I don't think so. If anything, I think it was more of a jab at his peers. I don't want to say peers because he's definitely on another level than them in that company and everything. But I agree. Everyone, I don't know what it is. And I'll even say it's not just AEW, it's wrestlers as a whole. Sometimes they're very quick to go to social media. And I get it. We don't see everything. So that might have been a breaking point for them. A bunch of built up tension. Then they send that tweet. Sometimes you can tell it's a little indirect fire, just very quickly shooting from the hip kind of thing. But no, I don't think so as a whole. And I think wrestling fans, this is a perfect opportunity because a lot of wrestling sites are just sharing this, and a lot of tribalists of whatever company are sharing this to make it seem, because then they're also promoting. He's like, I didn't have a contract this summer. He's like, when I was working SummerSlam weekend, I could have walked in with the title, but I didn't. That was
very interesting. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but I think that's him showing his loyalty. Like people think that was him shitting. That's my man showing loyalty. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, actually listen to things, actually watch things, then give your opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That's exactly it. Like him saying that was when I was listening to it, I instantly went into my own head like, yo, can you imagine they hit that fucking old Dean Ambrose music, and he walks out with the fucking AEW. Cause you like that would never happen. Like, I don't want to say that would never happen, but I don't take Moxley as the type of dude who would do something like that.
No.
And plus, I don't think that this day and age that shit, ever since Medusa did that shit back in the day, I'm pretty sure that these guys have taken, listen, I will sue your ass if you do that shit. So I don't think guys would actually do that anymore.
Because now everyone's like, imagine if Moxley did show up, which I agree that would have been fucking insane, right? But it's like, he wasn't on the contract. He easily could have hit up Triple H, who he probably has a good relationship with from NXT, and be like, hey, let's sit down and talk while we're in town. And you know for damn sure if that would have happened, we would have heard about that. We 1,000%.
But I think when he said I could have, because he says on the podcast, I could have walked into SummerSlam with the AEW title. And he goes, people don't even know that. And I think when he said that, what he was basically alluding to was that, like, I think he had an open door, like, to do it. Like, I think from the other side, I think they were like, hey, bro, if you want to show up, show up. Like, I think he got that, like, green light. But he was like, you know, nah, I'm doing my thing. So another thing about this was, that would have been, bro, can you fucking imagine if we're watching SummerSlam and they just hit he fucking decides to, imagine that shit if they're back there and
I think you had a little lag problem, but I guess I'll throw my piece in there quick, was that it'd be as simple as, like, when they had that main event, right? Picture everyone. You have Brock Lesnar, you just had the whole tractor spot. Roman ends up getting him down for that 3 count. And then whether it's Dean Ambrose or John Moxley's music hits, he comes out to the crowd, all of that. It would have been literally insane. Like, literally insane. And who knows? Like, who knows where it could have gone from there. But overall, I guess, like we were trying to say, is watch everything, listen, do what you need to do. Hey, lose back. But so what I pretty much said was, like, imagine Brock just picked up with the tractor the ring. Roman hit the tank, wins the last man standing, and whether it's Moxley or Ambrose's music hit, and then they had the stare down with the titles,
I think it would have been Moxley's. I mean, I think it would have been the old Ambrose music, because they probably wouldn't have had the right. Now we're just fantasy booking. I don't think they would have the rights to Wild thing.
Yeah, I guess right before we move on, because we've been on this, is instantly, right? So he says this. As fans, we would have had no clue that my man was a free agent. No clue, right? So we would all have been thinking, like, oh my God, it's happening.
Bro,
the invasion.
I would have jumped out the fucking window. Like, I would have jumped out of my fucking window.
We would have thought the invasion angle was happening. Because we would have assumed there's no way Tony Khan doesn't know this dude's there right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
But yeah. So wrestling news, crazy. But I don't know about you, Lou. I don't know if you have any last final comments. But if not, I'm ready to hop into the Wrestles.
Yeah, we are primed and ready to jump into everything. So, here's the situation for all of you listening. We have 3 pay-per-views. We have a pay-per-view Friday. We have a pay-per-view Saturday afternoon, and then we have a pay-per-view, obviously a premium live event happening that night, which is obviously the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. And the next night.
And the next night.
And the next night. And then you got, it just never ends. Wrestling never ends, dude. So one of the things I wanted to touch on here, I know a lot of people, it's a very niche thing. So Ring of Honor's back. And Ring of Honor is only available on their own app, their own website, which is the Ring of Honor Club. I know it's a very niche product. it's connected with AEW. You have a lot of AEW talent on there. You have a lot of old Ring of Honor talent coming back, which I love to see. I love seeing Cheeseburger this week. But I've watched the first 4 episodes of the show because that's how many they have. I've watched everyone. I look forward to it every Thursday now. And I will say that this show's fucking awesome. The Ring of Honor show is fantastic. You get good competitive matches. You see a variety of different people doing a variety of different things. They're telling their own stories. They've built up their roster and their titles. They have a pay-per-view at the end of this month. Obviously, it's on Friday. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because for the main reason is, first of all, Eddie Kingston's in the main event. So you already know.
You already know.
Ready to go.
Waiting on this
Nick,
main event.
hold on. I'm going to unclick your thing and click it back because your main screen is frozen, but your little screen down here is playing normally and it's bothering me. Okay. So just let me click that and click that.
Are we good?
On my screen, you're frozen on the main screen, but on the little screen in the corner, you're good. So I'm just going to follow that. And we'll see what happens when we upload this thing.
Yeah, because I'm moving.
Yeah, I see you. The bottom's fine, but up here it's like it's like a picture. It's weird.
I'll step out. I'll step out and come right back in. You can continue.
No, you can. I mean, it should be fine. I hear your audio, so it's just it's just an aesthetics thing for me. It doesn't bother me. So I was kind of being a little long-winded there, but I'm very much enjoying the Ring of Honor TV show. That's why I wanted to kind of talk about the card for a little bit because the pay-per-view looks fantastic.
No, it does. I've only watched a couple of them so far. But it has been good. I'm giving Tony nothing but props. You know, with only 4 episodes, did a great job building up to this show. I'm definitely excited for it, and the main event as well. I'm Team Eddie for this one.
Yeah, man.
Obviously.
It sucks because like I know Eddie's probably not. I mean, I hate to say that shit because it's kind of like I'm shitting on my own man and shit. But
you know,
I really like how Claudio. I really like how Claudio's evolved himself as far as his personality, because now he's given himself. You know how wrestlers kind of give themselves these little names. So now he's kind of embraced this final boss thing, which I like a lot. Because Claudio's been like with the video game thing with like up, down, down. Like he was part of that whole Xavier Woods up, down shit. So it's kind of cool that he found something in his personal life to attach to his character. So he was like, I've been the final boss of wrestling for a long time. And he used that like a couple weeks ago. And now he's kind of like embracing that character and that name. So I like that a lot. Because that's one thing Claudio's lacked is that like full embrace on his character. But I was reading some stuff about this, and AEW Ring of Honor did a pretty cool video package for Claudio and Kingston, where it goes back to 2007 from when their feud started, and you can get a whole look at their history. What bothers me is that Claudio's 7-2 against Eddie.
That's a good record.
So it's like, okay, that's kind of cool because then I kind of feel like from a booking standpoint, well, Eddie should, not that he should win because, it's about who's gonna whatever, but you look at that and you're kind of like, oh shit, does that mean that they're gonna actually give Eddie they're gonna give him the win here? They're gonna give him the rub? I don't know what's going on, especially since Claudio's telling him you're the biggest waste of potential I've ever seen, and running him down so much to the point where it's like you're kind of making him the super underdog. So I'm very excited about this main event. I'm almost more excited about this show than I am for Wrestlemania Saturday, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Wrestlemania Saturday is gonna be kind of not whack, but I think it's gonna be kind of flat. And we'll get into that a little bit more because I think, well, we'll talk about why later. But I know I'm kind of hogging the microphone here as far as this show goes, but just The main event's going to be the shit. You're going to get Vikingo versus Commander, which is going to be
I'm
a
excited
fucking
for that. I'm very
bananas
excited for that.
match. A bananas match is going to be. Athena versus Yuka Sasaki is going to be fucking a banger. Wheeler
and
Yuta is
Briscoe.
wrestling Shibata for the fucking pure championship, bro.
That's going to be good.
What are you talking about? Are you serious? So, and for me, the match I'm most looking forward to, and I don't want to brush past the Brian Cage match either, because the 6-man tag is going to be a good one. I think Brian Cage is leaving.
That's his last he told he told Tony Khan he would work through the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think this is his final contractual match. I haven't heard anything of him re-signing anything, so you might be seeing AR Fox and Mitsada Leak and Blake Christian taking those belts, which is whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the match I'm looking forward to the most is the tag team title match. It's called the Reach for the Sky ladder match. So Lucha Brothers versus Russian Dralistico versus the Kingdom versus Top Flight versus Aussie Open. We don't have to run down who we think is going to win or lose. I'm just excited for the show. But I think the Kingdom is going to actually win this match because the Mike Bennett promo, I don't know if you saw it. It was I teared up listening to that shit.
I'm cool with them winning it. Very cool with it.
Completely, totally.
I'm excited for Samoa Joe and Mark.
And that's the one too. I'm gonna end up crying like a bitch during this fucking pay-per-view. I know it. I know at some point I'm gonna end up fucking crying like a bitch at this show. That's why I'm so excited, because I'm like so invested in these people. And I love Honor Club. If you guys have $10 and you've had even a passing interest in Ring of Honor, or you want to kind of know about it, and you just you want to see what it's like, dude, they have all of their years of decades of content on the Honor Club. You can watch all the old pay-per-views on there, all the old episodes of the show. They have like little mini documentaries they've made. They got little mini series that they've made with some of the people who've been there, like Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, old CM Punk shit. Like, they have it all there. So
that's awesome.
It's definitely worth $10. So, check it out if you can. I'm excited for this show. Nick, I don't know if you have anything else to add to this Ring of Honor show, but I can't wait for Friday.
You know me, I love wrestling. So all the Ring of Honor shows they've done have always delivered. There's obviously a lot of tribute in this show.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'm really intrigued with the main event. I just think, like I said, with my whole time difference, I think it's a perfect way to start off a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Is watching some Ring of Honor. Chill in the bed, watching Ring of Honor. Shit, I'm all about it. Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really good.
And it's funny because that's how actually I watched a lot of Ring of Honor, because that shit used to come on like at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, 2 o'clock in the morning is, whoa, what's happening? What is going on? Why is this thing giving me so much trouble today? My camera just popped in and out. Yeah, that's how I used to watch Ring of Honor in bed. Fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, that shit would pop on. That was like old school ECW. So, I'm going to say one thing here, and I'm not going to make any promises. I'm not going to, I don't want to commit to anything. But seeing as how we missed an episode of Wrestling is Trash last week, I might go live after this Ring of Honor show and do a post pay-per-view kind of show. I might do it. If anyone has any interest in that, you can drop a comment, leave a T in the chat for your Trashboyz. If you show even a drop of interest, I'll do it. But I might just go live after that show and do a post-show recap. So be on the lookout for something like that. Just
if you go live, I'll say there's a 50% chance I can make it.
Nice.
I will do what I can as well, because I will be watching. We'll see what happens.
We'll see if we get you guys that missing episode of Wrestling is Trash that you were missing last week. So with that, we also have a pay-per-view on Saturday afternoon, which is the NXT show. Now, Nick and I are both in agreement. I'll tell you myself, I haven't watched NXT in like probably since Mandy was fired. Like that's
Honestly,
probably the last time I watched a full episode. And I'm gonna be honest with you, even before I watched that episode, I wasn't even really fucking with NXT like that. So it's been like a year that I haven't really been kind of watching. I keep my ear to the street, you know. We know what's going on because we're involved in the wrestling thing, and you know, we know who champions are and who's this and who's that. But as far as watching that show, we haven't done it. So
there's like a handful of things that keep me in it.
Yeah, of course.
I watch Level Up for one reason and one reason only. Lola Vice when she's on it. I'm already a stan for her. Her beautiful looks. So
listen,
her. And then
Nikita Lyons used to be Nikita Lyons used to be the reason for that, and now Lola Vice has completely usurped Nikita Lyons' position in the company, bro. 100%.
But as far as NXT, I care about number one, the man Carmelo Hayes, which he needs to win this title, and if he wins this title, Lou said this off air. I'll say it now because I know he'll agree. I will definitely watch regularly if he's that champ. I do watch the Grayson stuff. Like, I do keep an eye on that because I think he's a phenomenal talent. And our boy Rob loves him. So you got to kind of show support to the homie. And
Waller is baller.
Yeah, now Dragon Lee. I'm excited to see that. But then this whole Roxanne Perez thing, whatever's going on there, I'm just a big fan of her. I think she's just tremendously talented.
Right. Yeah, and it's, again, we'll just touch on that point that I wanted to bring this show up because I need Carmelo Hayes to be the NXT champion. That dude is the next big thing. He is going to be a big deal on the main roster. He should most definitely have that under his belt. He should definitely have a NXT championship run under his belt because he deserves that shit. He's great. He delivers on every possible front that you can have. He checks all the boxes, bro. It's just like he's a star. So the reason I haven't been keeping up with NXT, we were talking about this in the cut. I have no great love for Braun Breaker. He does nothing.
He just doesn't do it for me yet. I'll say yet because you never know. But
nothing
for
now, nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
His character is just he looks. I hate to run him down like this, but he just looks goofy. He just looks goofy, bro. And everything that he says to me seems forced. Like he's obviously looks like he's playing a character. All of them are playing characters, but there's just something about him where I don't feel like he's even really being himself.
Yeah, he's not natural.
Kind of like, it's all very unnatural what he does. And his moveset, I really don't care. He doesn't do anything that I think is anything of, anything spectacular that I need to see. I've never seen a match of his where I'm like, yo, you saw that Braun Breaker match? That shit never happened. It's never
complete
happened.
Opposite with Carmelo Hayes, though.
Yeah, and Carmelo Hayes is must-see TV. Like, it's a stark difference. So, you put that belt on Carmelo, I'll be back. I guarantee you ratings will go up with Carmelo Hayes. They might not go up much because not a lot of people watching NXT, but I guarantee you
they'll go up.
TV. Because I know I'm going to watch. So, there's that. So, again, this show has about 6 matches, and that's really the main thing for me. Grayson Waller is wrestling Johnny Gargano for some god-awful reason. They're playing up that angle that they did like almost 2 years ago, so whatever. There's a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. It doesn't even state here who's in the actual match, so that's great.
I saw it. So Tiffany Stratton's
both Toxic Attraction girls? Are they both in it?
I just know Tiffany Stratton. I forgot the other. I saw it.
Yeah, I think it's the.
I know Tiffany Stratton.
I think it's the two. It's JC Jane and Gigi are both in it. I think Tiffany's in it.
Yeah, Tiffany's in it. I know
that. I really don't.
No, not Electra Lopez.
I don't even know who else is in that fucking match.
I don't know.
That goes to show you how much I know about this fucking show. And where I copied and pasted this information from, they couldn't even be bothered to add the names of the people. It just says literally ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. So whoever wrote this didn't care either. And then you have your Fatal 5-Way for the North American Championship, which Dragon
Hopefully
Lee, I
Dragon
believe, is in that
Lee.
match.
Yep.
And Dragon Lee should win that. You got your tag team match and your women's tag team match, and then you have a Chase U and Tyler Bate versus the Schism. So up and down that card, I don't care. Again, I'm probably gonna watch this because I do find myself watching the NXT pay-per-views, but I'm usually like they're playing and I'm doing
things
like, you know what I mean?
Getting ready.
And I have it
Getting
on.
ready for Saturday night.
Yeah, so that's probably what's gonna happen there. So that's about it for that, dude. Honestly, I really have nothing else about the NXT thing. So we're gonna move on to the WrestleMania card. Now, the first thing I'm gonna ask you, Nick, about WrestleMania is what are you eating for WrestleMania? What is the meal?
Because it is the Super Bowl.
What is the meal prep for WrestleMania?
To be honest, I'm probably just gonna fuck around with some pizza, man.
Okay. I know things are a little difficult for you, so
yeah. Well, no, not even like that. We were talking where I'm at and all of that. You know, it's not. But I'm definitely. I don't know. I feel I always eat pizza at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I feel since the pandemic, because a quick little story. Glenn Rubenstein, who does the Wrestling Inc. shows, I think he does their NXT and SmackDown. But anyway, during the pandemic, he was like, "Hey, retweet this and you can win a $25 gift card to Domino's or whatever." And I did it and I won it.
Oh shit.
And I got Domino's. So I think like every year since then I've always gotten pizza. Not because of that memory, but that's just as far back as it goes for me.
So funny story about Domino's. I can't eat Domino's anymore. First of all, it gives me acid reflux. And
well, there's way better pizza options. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm obviously a snob for pizza, chain pizzas. Yeah. I don't fuck with them. But I have a friend of mine who, and I didn't know that this existed, but I have a friend of mine whose daughter was in a like cheerleading competition thingy. And I was on Instagram one day and she posted a story. Hey guys, I don't want to say her daughter's name, but my daughter's name is competing in this thing. If you could donate here at this link, you'll get a Domino's pizza card. So I was like, whatever, you know. I threw a little $20 and shit because they're cool with me and shit. And you know, you go to this site, you put your name in, and then you donate with PayPal. And then she hit me up. She said, "Oh, okay, we're gonna send you your card. We're gonna send you 2 since you donated 20." I was like, okay. I just thought it was like a $5 card or something like that. The card, and I still have them actually. I just don't know where they are. The fucking card was a Domino's card that if you call them and order a large like pepperoni, you get one free.
Oh, that's dope.
And there's no limit to how many pizzas you can order. So you can order 20 pizzas and you'll get 40. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I didn't know that shit existed. And it only works by telephone. You have to call the store. You have to call an 800 number and they let you know what stores do it. And it's basically all the stores. There's only like a few stores that don't do it, that don't honor it. But it's like, I didn't know that was a thing. And that shit lasted the whole year. So I kind of blew my load on Domino's when I had that card. Because it was like, I ordered a pizza and I got 2. So you can imagine, you know, how sick of Domino's I got when I did that. But I didn't know that was a thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about you? What are you having?
Dude, I'm torn. I'm torn because right now I'm doing intermittent fasting. And like right now I'm looking at the clock and I kind of fucked up because I usually eat at 4 and I'll eat. It takes me 20 minutes to eat or whatever. And then I'm done for the day. And right now I'm doing 15 hours. So that would get me through till 8 in the morning. And then I'll be at work at 8 in the morning and that's when we take our break. So I'll be able to have my coffee and a muffin or whatever. And right now I'm looking and I'm like, well, I fucked up because the last thing I ate was like at 2 and I don't want to eat now because then it's going to push me past my time. So I'm basically done for the day. I'll just be drinking my 0-calorie Gatorade.
Water.
Yeah. So I figured, and I've been doing it for, I've been doing it for a week and a half. So I figured this weekend I'll just not do it Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And just so that I can have my WrestleMania meal, because I think we talked about this last year. When I was married, like WrestleMania was an event.
You said that. Yep.
That shit was an event. I'd barbecue and make steaks and all this shit, and we'd have a big dinner and we watch WrestleMania. So I honestly feel like I'm gonna do wings.
Can never go wrong with wings.
Yeah, bro. I think I'm
You
just
can
gonna
never
get
go
wings,
wrong.
but I think I'm gonna make them. Like
Ooh,
usually, I'll
okay.
go buy some wings because our supermarket has a pretty good deli.
So does ours with the hot wings. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and the wings are really good. Like they're good. So, but I think honestly, I'm gonna go the extra mile and I'm gonna do the old school. I'm gonna go buy my raw wings. I'm gonna season them on Friday, and then Saturday I'm gonna barbecue the whole fucking bag, and then I'll just take what I want, and then everyone else can have whatever's left over. So I'm probably gonna do that. Blue cheese on the side, you fucking savages. Because even though I am a ranch guy, you cannot fucking put ranch on wings. Don't do it. It's blue cheese on wings. It's blue cheese on wings. I'll go fuck your mother. That's the rule, as told by Joey Diaz. So that's the rule. So yeah, probably gonna do wings. But we have this card here. Now there's a bunch of matches written here in our shared note. What the fuck is this? Well, somebody's following me on Reddit. And I don't know if any of this is in any kind of order, but
that's what I was gonna say. Last night, before I went to bed, I did some research, and I did some this morning. I can run down what I believe is being pitched for Saturday first, at least, so we know, if you would like.
That's cool.
So opening the show, I think we all know this. It's been all over Twitter. So starting off WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania as a whole, you got John Cena challenging Austin Theory for the United States title.
So they're gonna do Saturday?
Yeah, they're starting the show. It's already open. They already said they're starting the show.
That's a hot match, man.
Hot match to start, right? So with this, I don't know, because I know we always put who we think's gonna win. So I'm gonna say it first, everything. So I think they did with Cena only being on TV one time. I think they did good with this. And then I don't know if you watch Raw.
Yeah, you know what, man? That's a banger, bro. And I know
it is.
I know it's John Cena. We make fun of the guy, and he got a big head, and he's losing his hair, and whatever. White rappers are not, people like to shit on white rappers or whatever. But man, when you hear that fucking ding, ding, as soon as you hear that note, you already know what's happening, bro.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things with that theme. That's one of those themes that it's produced perfectly, because it starts off with that little anticipation. And as soon as you hear it start, you know exactly who it is and what's coming and who's coming out. And then it just it fucking starts slowly, and then you hear that. Then the horns just kick, that shit just crescendos. And it just fucking it's like it just makes you go crazy, bro.
I hope he comes out first too, because that's a hell of a pop to start.
Oh yeah, he should. He's the non-champion.
So I think they've done great with this build for him not being there much. He went on TV one time. I was personally a fan of the promo Theory did the other night, just by himself.
Yeah.
I think Theory's kind of stood his ground in this, even though Cena roasted the fuck out of him when they were face to face. But I like when Cena does that. Every time Cena goes up there with a young buck, he breaks him down to size, and everyone's like, Cena's burying him. I personally dig it every single time. Dude, for some reason though, my gut wants to say Cena's gonna win and do an open challenge on Raw, and someone's gonna come out of nowhere and debut and win the title.
Wow.
Now that's stupid high expectations.
Okay.
I don't know. My gut is telling me that's going to happen. I wouldn't mind if Theory won. The younger talent gets over. Will not be mad about it. Some reason, dude, Triple H has been saying, they've been saying he really has big plans for ROH after Mania. Everyone hyped up how great Cena's United States Open challenges were. This, like I said, I'm not going to live to the expectations, but you can drop me down for Cena. I'm going Cena, man. Yeah, I've been seeing it. Now, granted, this is our fellow IWC people saying things like this, but sometimes when you read something, you just want to see it, and that's what I want to see. And at the end of the day, man, it's fucking John Cena. Like, I love how Theory's changed in the past, 6 months? Like, he's came more credible. He dropped the selfie gimmick. So I will not be mad if Theory wins at all. At the tiniest bit, will not be mad. But I don't know, man. My gut's telling me Cena's coming out.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fantasy book there right after I make my pick. Because I'm not, like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't even think about, like, yeah, he could win and then do an open challenge thing. Because now I'm thinking about the actual booking of that. It would be pretty
cool. Could have
cool.
Brian Cage debut, Jay White, like AJ Styles returns from even.
I didn't even
like
think
AJ...
of Jay White. What I was honestly thinking. What I was honestly thinking when you said that was that he comes out, he does an open challenge, and fucking Matt Cardona shows up.
Yeah,
Matt Cardona shows up, and they do like the hey, my buddy's back, because they used to be boys and shit.
Yeah. Even if there was someone like AJ Styles comes back from injury, another AJ Styles John Cena match.
Could you imagine that though? Could you imagine that though? If fucking Matt Cardona comes out, he comes out with the full Zack Ryder bullshit, the fucking headband and all the goofy shit with the goofy music, and he's doing the fucking thing. And he runs out there, and Cena's happy to see him, and they start hugging and doing all this shit. And then fucking Cena turns his back, and Cardona just destroys him with a chair, beats the shit out of him, blah, 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 and has the ref ring the bell, and then just fucking wins and takes the title. That would be fucking tremendous. And then he could be actually Matt Cardona instead of being Zack Ryder. Wow, Nick, that's a fucking good call. I think Theory's gonna win though. I think the time for Theory to kind of elevate is, again, the time is now. As corny as that is to say, because that whole thing that he went through with losing, like, I don't know how many fucking matches in a row and all that. I just think that the way John Cena roasted his ass on Monday Night Raw, bro, you can't afford to have him like beat this guy at the expense, like to debut somebody at the expense of Theory would kind of like, that would be kind of fucked up. Like that, you know, this dude, he should get the big win and solidify him as just not some, you know, goofy kid who's going to be losing big matches. Like he should win the big match. Because
Theory could also do the open challenge thing as well.
Yeah. And, you know, I just felt like when I saw the match being made, that I felt like Theory was going to end up winning. So I'm going to go with him. I said,
I wouldn't be shocked because Cena's all about playing talent over.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick Theory.
So now scrolling on our shared note, a few down, because it's already been advertised from the man himself. One, which I think could be a match of the weekend, in my opinion, if everything goes according to plan and they do what they want. Logan Paul versus Seth freaking Rollins. Another one, I don't think the build's been bad. Not going to say it's been the best build in the world, but hasn't been bad. You know you're going to see spots. This is going to have spots in the match, which I'm totally cool with. You know, Seth's over. Hella over. But Logan, I think they're finally letting him be a heel, which I think he's doing better at because he's naturally a heel, you know? Every match, even the Royal Rumble, he's just delivered. No one can argue he hasn't. But I think it's Seth's time. And it's on Logan Paul's birthday. What a cool birthday gift. You're wrestling Seth Rollins in Wrestlemania in LA. So that's pretty dope personally for him, but I'm going with Seth Rollins.
Take this L. Take this L at WrestleMania for your birthday.
Yep. Seth Rollins. I got. Who do you got?
Yeah, I feel like it's funny because I'm picking Seth Rollins for this. But it's funny. I feel like Triple H, like he's confused at which brother he has, because they're doing like this knockout punch angle, and like since when is Logan Paul like knocking people out? Like that should be a Jake Paul thing. Like you would think
like
that's something like if they bring in Jake Paul, he starts knocking people out. Like that would be his thing since he's the boxer. But it's like, where did fucking Logan Paul get this devastating? And Seth Rollins, bro, sells that shit like he got his like face down, ass in the air, like knocked out. Like he's selling that shit like it's Mike Tyson. So it's like, are you sure you know which brother you got here, bro?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is gonna be one of the best matches on the show.
For sure.
And you know, Logan Paul's track record is, and imagine we're talking about a Seth Rollins match, and I'm talking about Logan Paul. The dude has delivered in every match that he's been in. So I expect nothing less, and especially when he's working with a professional like Seth Rollins, it's going to be fucking tremendous. So
yeah, because you got to think he had the banger of a one-on-one match with the Miz, who's not like, you know, Miz isn't awful. He's not.
Yeah.
Then he had the great one with Roman, who Roman's just your big guy. Now he's got someone that can do the same shit as him.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match for sure. I'm going to go with
Logan
Rollins.
And Logan can sell too. So I want to see him sell a curb stomp.
Yeah. It's where is my, there it is. I think it's unanimous. We're both going to go with Mr. Seth Rollins. And we're both in agreement that this match is going to fucking rule. So I wonder where on the card that's going to fall, though. I would think it's close to the main event. Like, it's got to be close, like 2 or 3 down that from the being, top.
Yeah, because I personally think, and we'll get into it, I think that tag match is main event in night 1. So I could see it being like the tag match main event, something in between them. But next, so speaking of the tag match, we're not jumping into the tag match. I'm going to save that for the last one for Saturday. But everyone's been the rumors have always been Rhea Ripley. It's either the tag match or Rhea Ripley and Charlotte going to main event, right? But I saw an article this morning with Bianca Belair talking about her entrance, saying she's got a grand entrance that you'll see Saturday. And I'm thinking, I don't think, even though last year they did that. Oh, no. Did Bianca and Becky go on Saturday too? I think they did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So maybe they're doing, well, they also have a lot of women's matches because they got the triple threat one as well.
Right.
But anyway, so she said that. So I figured, hey, let's talk about it. So you have the Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair defending against Asuka. I got a little gripe with this one because when Asuka returned, you know, resembling old gimmicks, I was very, very excited. I don't think they've done bad with Asuka. I don't think they've done bad with Bianca. The build just hasn't been there for some reason. They had that good vignette and stuff with Asuka on Saturday. I'm pretty sure the match is going to be good. I wish they would have built this up more because I think it had potential to have a great build because they both are very charismatic people. I'm taking Asuka, though, here.
Okay.
I will not be mad once again if Bianca wins. 300, a whole calendar year, a whole Wrestlemania calendar year. I mean, WWE calendar year. Being champion. So if she wins, cool, keep it going. But man, I think we see Asuka. I think we see Asuka take it because it's kind of not that Bianca's getting it to that Roman level because she's not. I absolutely love Bianca Belair, but it's like if Asuka doesn't, who does?
Yeah.
Unless Charlotte loses and Charlotte goes for her. But I'd rather have Asuka be her fourth than Charlotte, if anyone, you know, between the two. So I think this is going to be Asuka's moment.
Yeah, that's cool. And your reasoning is sound. I just have, again, sometimes with these matches, instead of looking at it as a fan, we look at it through booking eyes. And I'm like, if Asuka wins, like, what is she gonna do? She was already like champion twice, right? I think she's woman champion.
Yeah, I think she's a 2-time Raw, 2-time SmackDown.
Like,
once.
what else is she gonna do? Like, is she gonna feud with Becky? Is she gonna feud with Bayley? Like, and I know you could say the same thing on the same side of the token for Bianca, but I just think honestly, if you're gonna have Bianca go to WrestleMania, she's a star. Like, she is a. I know Asuka's also a star. She's an international star and shit. So
yeah.
But I think Bianca is much more marketable. Like, when you see Bianca, like, you're like, damn, that's like that. When she's holding the belt and shit, you're like, damn, that's the champion. Like, she's, she looks like a movie star, and she's built like a freaking and a star athlete. She has it all. So
yeah,
why not let her defend her reign at WrestleMania? Let her get a year. Let her have the WrestleMania, moment or whatever. And it sucks for Asuka because I like Asuka a lot. I really do. And, you obviously you want to give Asuka her WrestleMania moment because hers got stolen by Charlotte when she fucking ended her streak at WrestleMania, which was bullshit.
Stupid.
Yeah. But when they played, did you see the video that they played for Asuka yesterday?
Yeah, it was really good, I thought.
Very good. And I think that a lot of people think because they did that she's going to win. I feel like that they did that video package because the build, like you said, was pretty shitty.
Sucked. It
like,
sucked.
This
you
build
can just
has
call
been
it how it is.
Trash. It has not been a good build. And again, I hate to reiterate these points, but when you look at Asuka and then you look at Bianca,
yeah,
it's like, how do you expect? I know David and Goliath is a thing, but come on, man. And I know Asuka has all the talent in the world and she's amazing and she can do it all, but dude, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. What's she gonna knock her out? She gonna tap her out? Is Bianca gonna tap to the Asuka lock? I don't think so. Anything that she puts Bianca in, I think Bianca can pretty much just stand up and power out of it. So just looking at it as far as aesthetics, I'm gonna go with Bianca.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Bianca retain and do 365 days as champion, and then I think honestly they're gonna have to bring someone in to dethrone her, because at this point that Raw woman's locker room, she's beaten all of them. And if they weren't gonna have Bayley beat her, which I would buy Bayley, because Bayley has all the talent and she's the build, and I think she would be perfect. You know what I mean? So unless they bring someone else in, I don't know. From what I'm hearing, Raquel is going to be getting a big push after WrestleMania. So, they're going to have the draft. Maybe they move her up to Raw and then she's able to,
make her a
maybe
heel.
She turns heel or something. Yeah, make her a heel. Because all this smiling shit, it's got to stop. That shit's got to stop, bro.
Yeah, it's just not
silly.
her.
Yeah, it's silly.
I hate,
you could tell that it's forced.
In wrestling in general when you have someone a face when they can just naturally portray a heel.
Yeah. It's just.
But, yeah. And then sticking on the women's topic, because it's another rumored match, potential could main event Saturday. The SmackDown Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair defending against your 2023 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Rhea Ripley. This build's been okay. Yeah, this build's been okay. Nothing to write home about. I think they've held their own. But in my opinion, not good enough to main event a WrestleMania. I would even say a pay-per-view, not a WrestleMania. But you can jot me down for Rhea. I think this is Rhea's revenge from Mania 2 years ago when she lost her NXT title to her. I think this is the time. I think you have Rhea move over to SmackDown to spread out the roster a little bit. Like you said, we have the draft probably coming up eventually a month or so after Mania. I just think it's the perfect time for Rhea. Rhea's on a roll. I don't think she's lost like in the last calendar year. And she was number one, right? She went the no shit distance in the Rumble. It's like, how do you have her do all this? She's body slamming Akira Tozawa on Raw. Like how do you have her lose?
Pinning him like a porno star, bro. Terrible. He's never recovered from that.
easily one of the most over talent, not just women, men and women talent between talent wise, TV wise. Everyone's loving her and Dominic stuff. So
yep.
How do you not?
Yeah,
have her win this?
It's Rhea time, bro. It's Rhea's time.
Charlotte's had plenty of WrestleMania moments.
Yeah, and Charlotte's still working her way to get to the 17 championships or whatever, 57 championship reigns that she has to get to beat Ric Flair. So she's got to lose them to get to that. So
hey, you're not wrong.
There you go. She's got to lose eventually. So, did you see that Rhea updated the you're washed thing? Because Damian Priest did the you're done, you're washed, it's over. You saw that Rhea did her own. She did her own one of those now. So now she has it. It's over. Yeah, it's time, bro. It's time. She's ready to go. She's primed. She looks like $1,000,000. She's awesome. Everything she does looks good. She's another star, and the story tells itself. She's gonna be able to get her revenge on Charlotte for taking her championship away from her, because it was the NXT title that she beat her for, right?
She challenged Charlotte for the title when Charlotte won the Rumble.
It's like, I'm challenging. Well, I'm the champion. Why am I challenging anybody? That didn't make any fucking sense. That's Vince for you.
And
Mr. Mustache Man, whoever. The man who haunts our podcast, Mustache Vince.
I love as fake as it is. I love it.
Yes. So I'm gonna go with Rhea. Obviously, I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited to see that match. I know that the thing that pisses me off though is that this match could have headlined. It could have headlined if they would have built it properly.
Because they have great chemistry.
If they would have just had, because the thing is with Judgment Day, it's like, they're supposed to be kind of like what Retribution was supposed to be, where they're just causing havoc across the roster. Like, they're going to SmackDown, they're going to Raw, they're interfering in everything. So, like, if you would have just had Rhea showing up and being a heel and just decimating Charlotte every chance that she got, and having them get fired up, and having Charlotte doing that fired up promo, and stop trying to be like little Miss G.I. Joe and shit, because she's trying to be like super face. Yay, I'm Charlotte and I love the fans now, and the fans love me, and I'm Charlotte Flair. Like, no, that shit doesn't work for her, bro. Charlotte Flair can be a face, but she doesn't have to be like this cheery superhero. Like, if you would have just had Rhea be super evil, I mean, not evil, but you know what I'm trying to say. If you had her be a complete heel and just attack Charlotte every chance she got, never let up on her, fucking just have them brawling and doing pull aparts, like, you build up that anticipation for that kind of shit, and then you could have been able to have that be one of the headlining matches. Because right now it's like on the back burner, even though I'm personally, and I know I'm going to enjoy the match, because like we've said on this show a million times, Charlotte needs like the right dance partners, and I think Rhea is a perfect dance partner for her. So I'm going Rhea. We're going Rhea. And that's it.
So as much as I don't want to talk about this match now, we're trying to keep WrestleMania night integrity here. The rumored main event for the night, which has had great build, the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles are being defended. The Usos will be defending against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Phenomenal. We've talked about this damn near since November, since War Games. This has been a great build. The Bloodline's the best thing going just in WWE. You can argue in wrestling as a whole. Just everything with they didn't make it so obvious as to instantly Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn joined forces. Like, they kind of Sami didn't beg, but you know what I mean. Sami had to ask for it. Right. Cody even got involved, who was involved in the other main event, everything like that. There's no way the Usos retain these titles. I'm going Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Okay. So 2 things with this match. I'm in agreement with you on the winners. I think Sami Zayn and KO are going to dethrone these guys. As I feel like the Bloodline thing is going to culminate with the championships being, all the champions are going to lose their belts. But I don't think this is going to be on Saturday. I think this match is going to open Sunday.
Okay.
I think this is going to be the opening match on Sunday. That's what I think. Because I think that they're going to... Because the thing is, if you dethrone them Saturday, it kind of like... You're going to be like, oh, well, then we kind of know what's going to happen tomorrow night with Roman. Now, I don't know if that kind of takes away from the excitement or adds to the excitement. But I think if you have this match open Sunday, and then they lose, then the whole pay-per-view, you're like this. You're waiting for that fucking main event because you're like, oh my God. Like it sets the tone. So I'm gonna mark here Saturday because it makes sense to have it headlining, because honestly, what else is gonna headline Saturday? I don't know if they've said for sure where this Edge and Demon Finn Balor thing is going to end up, but you would think that maybe that would kind of I don't know. I don't know if that would headline. I don't think so. You kind of want your title to headline the show, and
this would be the first time too a tag team title match main events.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, again, I'm gonna stick to my. Again, I wouldn't be mad. It'd be dope if they did it, if they headline, because that'd be really cool, because that would elevate the tag team titles, which is sorely needed. Even though the Usos have managed to elevate them themselves. But I think it's going to be Sunday, but we're going to go ahead and keep it Saturday.
Kind of enough. KO might potentially back-to-back 2 Manias in a row.
Yeah, dog. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, KO and Sammy, it's that story tells itself. And then it opens up the tag team division when they do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does.
We won't have to see the Usos and the Street Profits for the 57th time. Now we'll see oh, you know what I was thinking? So again, this is getting way ahead of the game, but when KO and Sammy win, if they start, I know open challenges is like everybody's doing open challenges, but if they decide to do that, that'd be a perfect time to bring back Randy Orton and fucking Riddle. That'd be perfect time to bring back RK Bro, like on Raw that'd be a huge pop. Because I know there's rumors out there that Randy's might make an appearance at WrestleMania. I don't know. They said something about he might show up at WrestleMania, so we'll see what happens there. But
I'll speculate my Randy thoughts later.
Okay. But yeah, I think that'd be a cool spot for them for the tag teams.
All in favor of that.
See.
Now
so right now that's 1, 2, 3, 4 matches for Saturday. So what else do you think might be on Saturday? Or is that
if we want to keep on the subject and talk about it, I actually think Omos and Brock.
Okay.
But I don't know. But I could also be in like Sunday's WrestleMania. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to save Brock for your main day?
Yeah, because I think honestly, like, I know it's a 2-day thing and it's supposed to be like it's all WrestleMania, but let's keep it real, bro. Sunday is the real day, bro. Like it's almost like it's WrestleMania is like the preseason. The Saturday is like the WrestleMania.
I actually think the Hell in a Cell match. So if you want to talk about that quick.
Okay. Cool.
So Hell in a Cell, WWE Hall of Famer Edge against the Demon Finn Balor, which another thing I read this morning is the Hell in a Cell is back to its normal color.
Nice.
So it's not that red shit no more. I'm really excited for this. I've heard some rumors about Edge's entrance. I'm not going to say it to spoil.
Okay.
But if it's true, if it happens, that would be insane. Like really dope. But the Demon's the Demon. Yes, he lost that one time to Roman. I think we actually randomly talked about that on the last show when he was doing like the hiccuping. And but I think the Demon takes this one. I think Edge puts Finn over here, and I think the Demon gets the W. I think we'll get some Damian Priest involvement probably in this somehow. And maybe we'll get some bet. Oh, here's my random sleeper. Damian gets involved, and so does Bad Bunny. As awkward as that sounds, because Bad Bunny's been promoting the game, lives in LA, right? Bad Bunny is going to interfere when Damian interferes, and that's going to lead to Backlash, which for those of you, if you don't know, Backlash is in Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny's the cover photo on the poster. Damian Priest is from Puerto Rico. They have a blow-off match there. Random sleeper there for me.
Cool.
I doubt it'll happen. That's just a Nickism right there. But yeah, so put me down for Demon Finn Balor.
Okay. So one thing I will say about this is that the entrances are going to be phenomenal. Like, I don't know about the Edge thing, and I'm going to try to avoid that so that I don't see it online before it happens. But the Demon, that was one of the things about him that he was very, like, before Finn Balor was in WWE, he was Prince Devitt.
Yep.
And his entrances were like half of his, I don't want to say half because he's very talented, but his entrances were like a big deal. Like if you look up his stuff on YouTube, his old shit, like he came out once as the Joker, he came out as Bane once, like full Bane gear. He came out as the Joker with the card and the face paint. Like his entrances were always very elaborate. So, and if you remember his NXT days when he came out as fucking Jack the Ripper one time, and one time he came out with the chainsaw. I'm thinking that his WrestleMania entrance is going to be pretty fucking epic. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And you got two kick-ass athletes like Edge and Finn Balor in a cage. I'm all set, bro. You really don't need to sell me too much on this. As far as who's winning, I'm going to have to go with Finn also. Okay. Because I really don't think the Demon is going to take a L at WrestleMania. Although you could say the same thing about Edge. Like, it's kind of a toss-up because even if the Demon loses, I don't think you're going to see him probably till next WrestleMania. So it doesn't really hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really hurt him to lose. But really, the Demon should never lose. The Demon should never lose. Like, that's a character that should be like unbeatable. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick him.
So our next two matches are both number one contenders for their respective tag titles. We'll start with the women first, right? Because I know we're not going to spend much time on these at all. You got Ronda Rousey teaming up with Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I think this could be an okay match. Personally, I want Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green to win because I've been a big fan of Chelsea Green since she came back. I hated how she debuted. We were bitching about that, but now it all adds up. They did back it up. It all adds up. I'm happy they're on both. I'm just happy in general that both of these women made the card. Like that's like they'll walk down the ramp and I'll be like, I'm happy you're there kind of thing. But I feel the obvious answer is Ronda and Shayna. But personally, so put me down for Ronda and Shayna, but personally, I want Sonya and Chelsea.
Okay. I'm going Ronda and Shayna for this. One thing I wanted to add here is I want to send a shout out to Carmella because she's like disappeared because they paired her up with Chelsea Green. And I thought it was going to
be them two.
Yeah, like I liked what they were doing. I kind of liked how they were kind of like two Karens and shit, like two very hot
they're a
Karens.
Good team together, I think.
Yeah, like two super hot Karens. And I kind of like that how they work together. And then like she's been off TV for like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now, and there's been no word about what's going on. So I just hope that she's okay. So, because we all know she's been through she's had a hell of a fucking year already. So just hoping that everything's okay with Carmella and that she'll be back soon and doing what she loves to do. But I'm gonna go with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler here because number one, because I want to see Shayna Baszler win at WrestleMania and get a title run and be more prominent on TV. I need Shayna Baszler to be WWE Women's Champion at some point this fucking year. I know it's not going to happen, but I need it because if anybody deserves a video package like Asuka just got, it would be Shayna Baszler because her run in NXT was fucking tremendous. Like she was beating everybody. She was decimating that roster. And I mean, she was a bully when she was in NXT. And then they bring her to freaking the main roster, and the first thing she does is be a fucking vampire. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't understand why she's not used more, but I need to see it. So I'm gonna go Rousey and Baszler also.
All right. And then next on the men's side, I think this one could be a good match. Street Profits versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders versus Alpha Academy. You're going to probably see some cool spots in this. I think Ricochet actually said that in his tweet. But I'm going to go with the heels here. I'm going to go Viking Raiders.
Okay.
As random as that is, I think a lot of faces usually win at Mania, and you need those random heel wins. And I think this could be one of them. So you can jot me down for the old Viking Raiders here. But I really don't have nothing else to say on this match.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're having number one contenders matches at WrestleMania. Like, it's a little weird. I know they want to get as many people as they can on their show.
And that's it right there.
Yeah, why the fuck are you having number one contenders matches on WrestleMania? Like, I understand maybe at a Backlash or Fastlane or one of these other pay-per-views or whatever. I don't think they've had a Fastlane in like fucking 4 years, but this is not the time for that. Like that I don't get it. The only way I would understand it is if like, oh, if they win this match later on tonight, they'll be added to the tag team match for a title
like
shot.
They did that 2 years ago, I remember.
Yeah, that would make sense. But this is silly. So again, I guess it's just a way to get people on TV, and that's fine. But men's Fatal 4-Way number one contenders tag match. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits.
Okay.
I think the Street Profits. In singles they've been on a roll, and they've been kind of quiet lately as a tag team. So I think it'd be cool for them to. I just want to see them wrestle Sammy and KO. I think
that'd be a good match.
That'd be a tremendous match. So
fuck yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Street Profits.
All right. And then while you do that, next, I'm actually looking forward to this one for obvious reasons. 6-woman tag match, Damage Control. So Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky versus WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Hall of Famer Lita and Becky Lynch.
Lita Ricola.
Lita. Yeah. I feel the obvious answer is to go with the faces, but I've been seeing speculations, and the Monday made it a little obvious. I could see a Trish Stratus heel turn. And
so full disclosure, I didn't watch Raw. So what's going on with Trish where they're saying that she might
just the vibe they're getting from her and the way she's like kind of presenting herself. If you go back and think if someone's gonna turn, it's gonna be her. So you could see the turn here, but you could also see the turn if, say, like a week later they have a women's tag match and she interferes. This one I'm going with who I want. I want to see the younger team get the win. So you can put me down for Damage Control. But I'm excited. I love Trish. She's still absolutely gorgeous till this day. You love everything about it. Becky's had her. All three of them have had Mania moments. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I want to see the younger people get that W here. Even whether it's just natural heels winning or if like Trish cost them the match or someone cost them that.
Trish Stratus almost looks better now than she did when she was younger. Like Trish Stratus was fine back in the day, but I don't want to say but. Don't take it like I'm one of these. I'm not picking anything apart. God knows I'm not. I ain't no supermodel. But now when you look at her, she's just like so refined and cut everywhere. Like she just before she was a little. I know she was a bodybuilder before, but like her face was a little like chunkier and shit.
Yeah.
Now it's just like she's got all these well-defined features. She just looks incredible. But my thing with this match is like Becky Lynch. I know she's a star, and I know they wanted to probably just get her a run with the tag titles, but like, why didn't they just give the titles to Lita and Trish? Like, if you're gonna have Trish there, like, why not just have the old schoolers versus the new schoolers, and that shit kind of like writes itself.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Becky being in the Trish spot potentially now, and Becky cost the two old ladies the match and lead to a feud that because also Trisha heel is just weird.
Yeah, I don't remember Trish. I mean, the only time I remember Trish kind of being a heel was when she was like the manager for TNA, like when she was the manager for Test and Albert. Like she was kind of like a heel then when she was like their manager or whatever. But
majority of the time has been a face.
I don't see her like that. So but I guess what they're probably gonna just lead to a Trish Stratus Becky Lynch match, which I'm not mad at. So I guess, you know, they kind of know what they're doing with that. So, but it just made more sense for me for Lita and Trish to be the champions than for Becky. But yeah, I think Damage Control is going to get the win here due to some shenanigans. Okay. Yeah, I think some shenanigans are going to happen, and it's going to end up leading to Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus there.
All right. Next, I'll say it. I'm excited to see this. Omos versus Brock Lesnar. I will admit, when I first heard of it, was not a fan. The build for this has not been bad. Brock's made Omos look good.
Yeah.
They did a weigh-in the other night. Omos was 410, and Brock just said, fuck it, and attacked him, right? Hit a clothesline, like a running, jumping clothesline, did it again. And then when Brock went to pick, because they used like the no shit doctor scale, not like a digital one. Brock went to pick it up and hit him. Omos hit him with actually a good big boot. And the fans just instantly were like, Omos came off as a good heel here. And the fans went nuts, granting Suplex City.
Oh, shit.
Because you got to think, whether it's a suplex or an F5, if Brock pulls that off, that place is going to go nuts.
Oh, Jesus.
You know? So, as I think Brock's going to get the win. I think so. But I've liked how Omos has looked in this feud. Honestly, I can say that. I think it's not going to go long. But
no.
And I wouldn't be and this is another one I would not be
legit 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I would not be mad if Omos. I would not be mad if Omos won at all either. Fuck no. But I think Brock. But because here's the thing, I know we said this before, and then I'll give it to you. Long story short, Omos keeps losing these big matches. Like he lost his Bobby feud at Mania. He lost the one to Strowman. Losing to Brock at the end of the day, you're losing to Brock fucking Lesnar. Like at the end of the day, the human. So that's why I'll never bet against Brock. But maybe it's just, especially since Braun just beat him, I can't picture Triple H booking Lesnar to lose if Braun beat him. I don't know. That's just me. I could be wrong. But I personally want to see Brock try to get that motherfucker up for an F5.
I could also see like so I'm gonna go Omos for this.
Okay.
I could see Omos getting a flash win, and then after the match, Brock hitting him with an F5 just to kind of like stand tall or whatever. But Omos gets the win. Just because for that reason, like how many times is Omos gonna lose the big one? You know what I mean? Like he's gotta, if they're gonna pitch this guy as the monster, you know what I mean? Then he's gotta eventually win one of these matches. Yeah, you could go on Raw and squash all these losers and beat Dolph Ziggler for the poor Dolph Ziggler, man. That guy's relegated. Dolph Ziggler's been relegated to just he's the guy. I need somebody who can get beat. Send Dolph Ziggler out there. I think he got his ass beat by Gunther on Monday.
Oh, he got the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, again, I didn't watch Raw, but I did catch some things on Twitter, and I saw that chop. that he gave him. So that looked pretty brutal. But
yeah,
I think it's gonna be something like that. I think Omos is gonna end up getting like a flash win.
Hey, at
And
the
then
end
Brock
of the
is
day, the
probably gonna
record
go
book says
nuts.
it.
Brock will go nuts after the match and probably just give him an F5
Yeah.
and get out of there. He's gonna F5 somebody, whether it's him or
Yep.
MVP. Somebody's taking an F5.
Yep. And then next, another match that's been built up for a long time and finally got payoff last week. Father versus son, Rey Mysterio versus Dom Mysterio. Rey goes into the Hall of Fame Friday. You know, it's a hell of a weekend in general for the Mysterio, so that's pretty dope. Like, I want to give them that. They're from San Diego, which that's only like an hour and a half from LA, so in his home yard. All this, I think it's obvious Dom's going to win. I can't let Rey, you know what I mean? I can't see Rey being like, no, I'm winning, or I want to win. So I think it's Dom. Yeah, I think this is going to be or this is maybe where this Damian Priest Bad Bunny shit might happen, maybe in this match.
Okay.
But
this is a weird one for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they've done good building it. Obviously, it's taken forever to get here, but they delivered in the end. So I'm going down though.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me because it's just like if you're doing an angle where because he said he's gonna take Rey's mask, but if you're doing an angle where this guy's taking the mask, usually that's like reserved for a good guy. Like I'm bestowing upon you my heritage, my lineage. I'm bestowing it to you now. You are the man now. But instead, it's like they're gonna make Dom what? He's gonna win and then rip off Rey's mask, or Rey gives him the mask or whatever in defeat and then like leaves or whatever. Are they gonna hug it out? Or it's weird because the way Dom's been portrayed, he's literally been portrayed like a scumbag. Like he literally said on Monday, I'm ashamed of you. I wish Eddie was my father. Like,
I love it.
What are they gonna hug it out? No, and I love that.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. But like, how are you gonna like? What's the pinnacle of the result of that match? You're gonna hug it out, and you can't hug it out after that. So it's weird, but again, I agree with you. I don't think Rey is gonna be like, nah, I gotta win over my son. Like that don't work for me, brother. I'm not losing to my son. Like, why would he do that? So I'm gonna go with Dom. And finish wise, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do there. So I'm actually intrigued by the match because I want to see like what they're gonna do there.
Same. Moving on, we got two more left. What we got here is a couple big meaty men slapping meat, looking for another banger after banger after banger. A triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be a great match. Another one that could be match of the weekend. All of that. Put me down for Gunther.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Gunther's going to bring Honky Tonks right good. I'll be right back.
I'm going with Sheamus. Sheamus is going to get his. I feel like Sheamus is going to get his Grand Slam title at WrestleMania, and I think he deserves it. Not even that I think he deserves it. He definitely deserves it. Sheamus is he's been doing this for over a decade. He's been the man, he's been comedy, he's been mid-card, he's done it all in the company. And the fact that he's not a Grand Slam champion, the fact that he's never had the Intercontinental title, is very strange to me that he's never gotten a run. So he doesn't have to have a long run. He can, get the win here, pick up the win, and then, he can bestow that title upon someone else because Sheamus just had a very long run with it. So we don't need to have another dude having a long run. But I'm going to pick Sheamus here because I would love to see him get his WrestleMania Grand Slam moment. That's not something that a lot of people can say that they have under their belt. So the fact that he's right there and all he needs is an Intercontinental win to have that, under his quote unquote belt, I think it's definitely Sheamus's time. So perfect timing as we were going to move right along from that. I'm going with Sheamus to get his Grand Slam title.
Don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
So
I don't think that's a bad choice. I had my headphones in, so I heard all your reasonings, and I definitely agree with them. I don't think there's anything wrong. But Lou, the icing on the cake, the main event to the main event, the actual Sunday main event, the WWE Undisputed Universal Title Match, Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes challenging the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. So I think it's Cody's time.
All been waiting for.
Yeah, the woes in the whoa and Cody's entrance get louder and louder every week. I think Cody's gonna have $1 million worth of pyro in this entrance, probably. I think he's gonna have a dope entrance. I think the storytelling in this match, it might not be your 5-star match, as people would say, but I think it's 100% going to deliver. I think it finally happens. I think the reign ends of Roman, because then there will be no chief to the tribe, or whatever the Cody was saying in that promo.
Right.
If you're not tracking from Raw, Cody beat Solo on Monday, which that was Solo's first main roster loss. So they've done, I think, one thing that bothers me is, I get it, Roman, you deserve your part-time contract. Like, you put in work for that, right? For years and years, and all the hate you were getting, now you're loved. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm not in their shoes, so everything's easier said than done. But, man, you're telling me you can't be on TV every week the month before Mania?
Yeah.
Like, they're probably going to have SmackDown hasn't happened yet, so they haven't had another face down. They could have another face down, right? But, like, you couldn't just be here at Raw watching from ringside while Solo fights. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I can't dig into it, and it's not a shot at Roman. It's just maybe the fan, me thinking too much into things like the business, but I still think they've done a good. The promos they've had together have been good on both sides, everything like that. But at the end of the day, man, it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So it sounds fucked, but for some reason, if you hear 1, 2, 3, and you hear the Tribal Chiefs music hit, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm shocked. That 1,000 days is damn near right there.
So
you know what I mean?
Brought up Solo. You brought up the Solo match last night, and again, I saw the highlights. I saw the finish, and when I saw the finish, I was just like, so it took you 2 Cody cutters, and it took you 2 crossroads to beat Solo. So what the fuck are you gonna have to do to beat Roman Reigns? What are you gonna hit him with? 4 crossroads? You're gonna hit him with 5 crossroads? Are you gonna like what are you gonna do to beat this guy? Because it took all that just to get past Solo. You know what I mean? So I think I was gonna pick Roman as the shock pick to retain, but so I'm gonna stick with that.
At minimum 3.
I'm gonna stick with Roman. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a minimum of 3 crossroads because you beat Solo with 2, so you're gonna have to at least do a third one. So I'm gonna pick Roman to retain here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman.
Let me ask you.
Right.
Let me ask you. If he wins, though, are you mad?
Nah, because it's just gonna, like, after the Drew McIntyre thing, because I was convinced Drew McIntyre was gonna win. Like, I think we were both in agreement.
Yeah,
I thought for sure Drew McIntyre was winning that. After that, like, it's just like, it's businessmen. They're trying to do business, and I know Cody's been built to this level where he's gonna take the reins now, and he's got to finish the story and all that shit. It's tough, man, but I'm just picking Roman to be different, because you know why?
You're the heel. The heel.
Yeah, I've picked against Roman before, and he's won. So I'm gonna try to do some opposite juju shit here. Because honestly, I'd love to see Cody win, but if Roman wins, I'm not gonna sit here and throw a tantrum. But
So realistically,
I will say.
Oh, sorry. Continue. No, go first.
No, I will say this. I don't think Cody's gonna. If he does win, I don't think it's gonna be 100% clean. I think there's gonna be some Jey Uso shit that causes Roman to lose the match if Cody wins. So if we get that, then I would say Cody's gonna win. But straight 1-on-1, I don't know, man. Tribal Chief is taking down bigger targets than Cody, and he's taking them down pretty clean. So
regardless, it seems like neither one of us will really be upset with however the main event goes of Mania.
Not at all.
Realistically.
Just more wrestling, bro.
But right quick, 2 minutes before we go, my Randy Orton thing. So I think Cody wins. I think they have some celebration, right? And
more pyro.
Yeah, lots of pyro. But I think Randy comes back, and I think Randy's going to be one of Cody's first feuds.
Okay.
And they're gonna rehash that, because what I think is going to happen in Puerto Rico at Backlash, I think you're going to have this. I don't think Cody will defend. I think it's going to be a 6-man tag, Bloodline versus Cody in the thing, and that's where I think we get a Jey Uso heel turn, right? Roman off TV, and then they run it at SummerSlam, the two of them.
Okay.
That's just me. That's Nick's thoughts.
That's cool.
I don't know if you have anything to add.
I fucks with that. I think we're gonna get Randy on Monday.
Yeah.
I think having somebody come out like at the end of WrestleMania, that's too much. Unless you're talking about no.
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen on Raw, the Randy thing too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you meant after the match. Randy comes out.
Sorry. No,
I think that's too much.
Yeah, it's Cody wins, fireworks. See you later.
Yeah, anybody expecting something like that, I think that's way too much.
Oh, yeah.
That's it's you want to have him celebrate and win, and that story gets kiboshed. You know what I mean? You don't want to add another person. Shit like that is that's some mustache Vince shit right there.
I like how we did the heads
too, and we don't need that. We don't need any of that.
Nope. But overall, I'm amped for this weekend.
Oh yeah, the weekend of the Wrestles Part 2. It seems to be a yearly thing, bro. This is gonna be a yearly thing where we just have 4 pay-per-views in 2-3 days. So
yeah, for those listening,
we'll be doing 3.
For those listening, just weekly wrestling television, right? NXT tonight, Dynamite tomorrow, Impact Thursday, Friday,
and ROH.
Yeah, and ROH. Friday, SmackDown, Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor. Saturday, NXT Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Night 1. Then you have Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2. Then you have the Monday after Raw. Then you have NXT. Then you have Dynamite. Then you have the Friday. Then you have Ring of Honor and Impact. Then you have starting tonight,
every day.
So starting tonight, there will be wrestling on TV or streaming, whatever, for 7, 8, 9, 10 straight days of wrestling.
You can't get a day. You can't get it. And mind you, this isn't counting GCW, because GCW seems to have fucking 3-hour shows like every
it's
other
too much, damn it.
It's a lot, man. And if you get Fight Plus, if you get that Fight Plus for $5, dude, there's XPW and IPW. It's madness, bro. It's real. It's literal madness. But
we hope you guys enjoy all of it, because we certainly will be, and we'll be back next week to rehash all of this.
100%.
But Lou, where can they find you?
You guys already know Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. You can find all my content on the Everything Podcast Instagram page. Click on the Drum.io link, and from there you will get everything you need regarding to Lou from the BX. And that was my brother who just made an appearance on the podcast, dropping off my Amazon package, if you guys caught that. Yeah, from there you can get that I'm currently working on some things on my personal YouTube page. So if you guys want to follow me on there, that's cool. You don't have to. But I'm currently working on streamlining that page and making that like the home for all my shit. Like I'm trying to get off Twitch and kind of just use. I did an experiment earlier in the week with going live on YouTube, and I kind of liked the way it went. So I'm thinking about moving everything over to YouTube. So you'll see some changes coming very soon.
And then, most importantly, you can follow me, follow the name, you know the deal, and Twitter, Instagram. But most importantly, follow the show. We always thank you guys for following. The views go up, you know, the subscribers go up. So we thank you guys very, very much. So on Instagram, Wrestling is Trash. At Twitter, Wrestling Be Trash. But most importantly, YouTube, so you can see our beautiful faces at Wrestling is Trash. Like, comment, subscribe, share, the whole nine. Let us know your thoughts on all of the shows this weekend, what your match of the weekend from everything we talked about is going to be, or even if we didn't talk about it. Let us know your thoughts and opinions so we can share that in the future. Because like I said, we'll be back here next week. From two wrestling fans, this is our Super Bowl weekend in the wrestling world.
Yes, sir.
No matter what company you like, everyone loves WrestleMania. I think everyone can agree on that. And with all the shows in general going on from every company, it's going to be amazing. Like in alone, we talked about 3 great shows that are probably all going to deliver, right? So go out there and enjoy it. But as always, thank you all. Like, subscribe, follow. We hope you all have a great weekend of the Wrestles. Peace.
Absolutely.